Got it.
Got it. Got it.
Got it. Got it.
Ladies and
Bye-bye.
gentlemen. Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 143 of the Green Suiters podcast.
Whew.
Tonight, I'm happy to say, we'd like to welcome 4 new patrons.
Get the heck out of here.
No, I will
Nice.
not get out of here. I will stay right
What?
here.
4 new ones?
4.
Awesome.
I guess they listened to
Wow.
us when we're like, hey, why is nobody signing up? I guess we're just garbage and trash. And then people were like, oh, I feel really bad. So they signed up.
Yeah.
Would you like me to tell you who the new 4 patrons are?
Could you please announce them?
Okay, number 1, we have Mr. Eric H. Became a tool sharpener.
Wow.
Eric H, welcome.
Welcome, Eric H.
This next one, I'll probably screw up the last name, but I'm going to give it a shot. Juan Malqui.
Oh, it's almost like Malqui.
Yeah, but Malqui.
Malqui. How you doing, Mr. Malqui? Welcome
Juan.
aboard, Juan.
Welcome.
Tool sharpener.
Excellent.
Nice.
And then we have 2 new hand sanders. We have Mr. David Murphy. Welcome.
Oh,
Welcome.
welcome, Murph.
And then we have Mr. Stan Darledge.
Stan Darledge.
D, like a D, Darledge.
Darledge.
Oh, I said
Welcome, Stan the man.
It's
Darledge.
Darledge.
It's crazy. 4 new patrons.
That's awesome.
Wicked.
And speaking of patrons,
Woo. Green Suiters Con.
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 Well, we're going to
Con.
talk about that. For those of you that don't know, our giveaways that we do every month are for patrons and patrons alone. And this month, our giveaway sponsor, we partner up with different companies and brands that we work with, have worked with, support. This month, it is bits.com, makers of the greatest router bits on the market. And they're giving away not 1, not 2, but 3 $100 gift cards to bits.com. Again, only available to patrons. So if you want your chance to win, consider going to patreon.com/Green Suiters podcast and sign up for one of the tiers. And the higher the tier, the more entries you get every month. And you don't have to do anything. I do all of it. All you have to do is type in the amount of money that you want to pay us every month for doing this amazing podcast that probably changes people's lives and will shape the future of our great nation in a positive way.
Yeah.
That was really nice.
Yeah.
That was good, right?
That was good.
Off the top of my head.
Yeah.
We're changing the world one podcast at a time.
This is true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
They
Yep.
said 4 to 8 lives a day is what the average is that we change. 4 to 8.
I'm not
Right.
gonna try to get people too excited, but there has been talk of letting the president of the United States be split 3 ways among the Green Suiters podcast.
Yeah,
Oh,
we're not
cool.
supposed to really. We've got a couple of clauses. We're not allowed to say too much about that, but
Yeah.
But just consider us Mr. Presidents.
yes.
Yes.
It's-
And we're running under the ticket of the Splinter Party.
yeah.
Yep.
We're running on the
Same thing.
campaign of all tools are tax deductible,
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
tax free.
150%. You can actually
Yeah.
write off more than the cost of the tool.
Yes. Yes.
And wherever you go, there you are.
Yeah.
there you is
Green Suitors for President 2032.
something. Yeah.
We could
yeah.
do it. We could
Yeah.
do it.
We could totally do
we
it.
could do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if Arnold
wanna run the
Schwarzenegger can
defense
be a
department.
governor, then we
Yeah.
can definitely be joint presidents.
Yeah.
Mm.
They would
And
bring.
then, I just had a great idea. Our running mates, our VPs could be off the cut podcast because, I mean, let's be honest, the VP is not important and literally does nothing. They're kind of
Yeah.
just like a sounding board, and that would be absolutely
So
perfect
true.
for them.
So true.
And they've proven they're good for nothing.
And
Right.
Spenceley goes on like 3-week vacations and stuff, so it fit perfectly.
Oh
Yeah.
my God.
Perfectly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Using
That's the best
using
the
a
podcast has
honeymoon
been.
as a as an excuse.
Wouldn't it be great during the debates? They bring up all the latest issues, and you're just like, I like tools.
Yeah. Yeah.
Be like, what about this? What about abortion? You'd be like, have you seen the latest this or that from so and so?
Or
Awesome.
we could pass a bill that
I think we'd win.
there's the best tax incentives for tools that you can buy. Festival.
Yeah, there you go.
Yes.
They're weighted.
Hell of a write-off.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll put
Weighted.
Milwaukee and DeWalt and Makita out of business.
Our
Yeah,
dream
but
is
it's
for every garage to have a track saw.
and we would support a global economy that way.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Using military planes to ship tools all over the world.
Yep.
Yeah. You get a
Yeah.
saw. You get a
Yeah.
saw.
Yeah.
We're onto something there.
Speaking of military planes, Leo is so excited for tomorrow.
Wicked cool.
Awesome.
I know that had nothing to do with planes, but I'm really good at segues. He is so excited. I dropped him off at daycare this morning, and the minute we walk in, Miss Eileen is like one of the owners of the daycare. He's like, Miss Eileen, tomorrow I'm coming to school, but I'm only going to be here until like 1:00. And then my dad is going to come pick me up and we're getting in the car and we're going on a trip to Ohio, Kentucky. That's what he said.
That's pretty accurate.
Yeah.
That's more accurate than people
'Cause-
realize.
Well, he asked me, it's like, where are we going? I was like, well, we're going to Kentucky technically, but it's like Ohio and Kentucky. So now he calls it Ohio, Kentucky.
There you go. That works. That
You guys
works.
plan on being down there around 3?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna pick him
Okay.
up 12:30-ish, 1, plan
Okay.
to be there by around 3. The only
Mm.
reason for that is because she did tell me, she didn't say for this trip specifically, but she did say for the event itself, she like made it overly clear, like make sure that you know that people aren't checking in until 4. It's like, is it one of those hotels where they like
No.
wait until the last minute?
Aloft is so relaxed. I've checked in at 11 in the morning sometimes.
I
Yeah.
guess they were worried about 50 people coming and checking in early.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's probably what
Yeah,
they were worried
that's
about.
so if
Yeah.
we say that, you know,
Yeah. So
Yeah.
if your name,
Yeah.
if your last name ends in A through S, you can check in early.
hey, Ronnie, what time are you planning on being down there?
Tomorrow,
Yeah.
I don't know complete. I have to make one pickup in Lexington. I'm gonna do that first thing, and then we'll probably go up fairly. I think I'd like to be up there like mid-afternoon,
Yeah.
not get up there too late. So
Yeah.
like
I'm leaving here about 9 in the morning.
okay. So
And
you'll
I'm
be
gonna I'm gonna make 4 or 5 stops.
I was
okay.
gonna say,
planned out.
really at 9 in the morning?
Oh yeah. I got some stops I want to make. Check out.
Oh.
Yeah, we're gonna do a couple of stops also.
Oh, Cam's coming.
Oh yeah, yeah.
He
yeah,
is coming.
Yes.
You bringing the Jeep or the Corvette?
Corvette. Yeah, nice weather.
Duh.
I've already decided if it was raining, I was gonna take the Jeep. But it's supposed to be dry, like no chance of rain, hot tomorrow too. But
So you know what I'm doing on Thursday morning after I get Leo up and we have breakfast and all that stuff? I'm gonna take him to play putt-putt golf on the way home.
oh,
Oh, you mean
nice.
Wednesday morning?
Yeah.
Wednesday morning.
Where are you gonna
Yeah.
play? Do you know
Yeah.
yet?
It's not too far actually from the area that we're doing. For those of you that are listening that are wondering what the heck we're talking about, we can talk about it and not worry about a bunch of people showing up because this will come out on Friday to patrons. But we are going tomorrow to the Aloft Hotel, which is where the host hotel for our meetup. And
Green Suiters Con.
Con.
It's for a go and see is what we would say to get all of the details
Yes.
of how we're gonna lay things out.
We have a fairly stable number for planning purposes, which I'm saying is 50. So that's what we're going to use, and we're going to get everything planned, make sure that everything is suitable,
Yes.
and
All questions answered.
yeah, I think it's going to be. I cannot wait.
Oh my
I cannot.
God.
September is going to be very busy for me.
Oh,
I'll be
right when I thought August was going to be mellow. They're starting to travel me around again.
really.
Oh,
Well,
almost the rest of my year's booked up.
September, I'll be. I'm going to Dallas the first week for that vid summit we were talking about.
Mm-hmm.
The very next weekend, my mom and sister are actually flying into town. I got them tickets to come visit the boys again. The very next
Wicked cool.
weekend, we will be at Green Suitors Con.
Fine.
Yeah.
Con.
Oh, con.
Yeah, so
I'm
September's
teaching
going to be busy.
I'm teaching the second weekend. I'm teaching at Mark Adams. That's always so busy.
Oh man, you're going to be teaching at Mark Adams with my mom and sister are here. Well, that's a bummer.
Yeah, oh yeah. I just realized that when I said it. Because I finish up with Mark Adams, bring everything back up, and then have a few days at Festool, and then leave Friday afternoon for Green Suitors Con.
Con. That's okay. We just wanted Marianne to come anyways. So
Yeah. That's how it is.
what was that, Ronnie?
Did you hear my little audio file?
No.
No, I didn't hear it.
We didn't hear it.
That's awesome. This microphone will not block. It blocks out things. I'm
That's
holding
weird.
it to it, and
it
it's not your.
No.
That is so
No.
weird. That's the loudest that my iPhone can go, and the microphone's cutting out the audio.
How do
Wow.
all the other podcasts do it? Because I've been on
They
other
play it.
podcasts when no, they'll use their phone.
Yeah, I
They'll
must
hold the
have-
phone up, and that's
Yeah.
so strange.
It is. It must be a frequency thing.
Hmm.
That's amazing. I'll have to send it to
Hmm.
you all. It's a little echo file of Green Suitors con.
Con.
It's
You know what
actually when people message me, they go, "Can't wait to see you at Green Suitors Con," and they go, "Con."
Yeah, con. You know what I did do today? I did book my travel. I am going to IWF.
Oh, excellent.
I booked everything today, actually. I'll be going. I was going to go for the whole event, like Monday through Saturday, but then I was like, no, that's not happening. So I'm flying down Tuesday, and then I will come back on Friday, but I will be on the floor Wednesday and Thursday. One day for a block of time, I'll be with Sedge, and the other day I'll be with Grit Automation.
Oh,
Oh,
cool.
wow.
So
Neat.
booked my room, got my flight. Flights are actually pretty cheap to go down there. I was surprised.
How much?
Mine was like $540.
Well, is that a business class?
First class, yeah.
First class.
I mean,
That's cheap.
that's cheap, right?
That's very inexpensive.
August,
Yes.
yeah. And so they have a code on their on the website for IWF, and it's like they partner with Delta, and it's a code that like gives you different rates on flights. So, anyways, I started to go book the flight, and then I got to the end. I like picked my seats and everything, and I was like, wow, the prices are really good. That code really did. I'm like, wait, did I even put the code in? And I didn't. And so I went back, started all over again, put the code in. Price didn't change at all. So I'm like, okay, the prices are just good as it is. I think August is probably not a crazy hot time that people are flying in and out of Atlanta during the week because it's so
Yeah.
incredibly hot and miserable.
And humid, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Speaking
So
of
That's
that,
cool. You don't have to worry about setup of anything or breakdown, so you can just swoop in, swoop out.
yeah.
That's
Yeah.
sweet.
And I'll
And
only be
enjoy
at the
the show.
booths. Yeah, I'll only be at the booth from I was supposed to talk to Grit Automation Day. I talked to Sedge, but it'll be from 10 to 3. And I did that for a reason. So one, I don't have to be there super early. And then it gives me a little bit of time to walk around before I go to the booth and gives me a little bit of time to walk around after the booth.
that's good.
But should be good. So if anybody out there is going to IWF, you'll know where to find me. I look forward to seeing you. Ronnie, are you going?
Don't know yet. I
Haven't
usually
decided.
decide IWF kind of last minute when I do
Mhm.
go. Yeah, I like to go. I think best way is it would be nice if it was within an hour, 2 hours of driving. I'd probably go every year without a doubt. But it's just a little bit, there's a little bit more logistics to it. And then I think I can see most things in a day that I want to see. I can fly through it, but it's overwhelming. It
Yeah.
overwhelms your
Yeah.
brain.
I could see most things that are at the show right online from the comfort of my home.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is neat to
It-
see a lot of things in person. It's cool.
Yeah.
Probably will go for sure when Cameron can go. He's not old. It's the only show that has an age limit.
Really?
Might be 17 though, and that's what he is 17. it was insurance reasons. It says it like 4 different times on the tickets. You even have to check a box that says you
No
have to be a
shit.
certain age. Yeah. So I
Huh.
would love for him to go. It would be fun to see it through his eyes, because it is overwhelming the first time when you see the machinery. It's it's amazing.
No
So
one
we've
under
talked.
the age of 16 is permitted, so he could
So
go now.
he could go. Interesting. I may actually look at that. What's the August the 20 something, right? What
No,
is
it's
it?
August 6th through the 9th.
6th to the 9th.
I
Okay,
guess
that's definitely before he goes back to school.
uh, I could tell you once in probably 14 years I did IWF, I actually walked the floor. I got a different lens on shows than you guys do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's changed a lot.
I actually set up, breakdown, worked them,
Oh yeah.
the whole time. So, and
Yeah.
I've done,
Ugh.
you know what? I have done my share. I
Mhm.
still, though, you guys know how much I love JLC. It's just the whole experience,
Oh yeah. It's just
you
small.
know. But it's
It's
just the camaraderie that's there. Everybody walking in, I've probably talked to, or and just the nicest people in the world come through that booth, whatever booth it is, whether it
yeah.
was a Festool Corporate or US Tool and Fastener. It's just been nice. I feel
Yeah.
like I'm home,
Yeah.
you know. And we
Did
get to
you
see a lot of our patrons and hit some dinners, and it's fun.
did
Yeah.
you see
IWF of a worldwide audience.
Yeah,
I went
Yeah.
up to US Tool and Fastener last week?
that's
Yeah.
right. Yeah, get to hang out with the guys, huh?
I did, and they were very surprised because I didn't tell Ryan specifically.
Oh,
Uh,
cool.
I
Did
got
he
out of the
poop his
car.
pants?
Yeah, I got out of the car and I was like, he was outside setting something up, and I was like, I want to talk to the owner immediately. And he was like, what? But it was great. Like they had a decent turnout. They sold quite a bit of stuff, which was nice. They had a little festival demo going on.
Mhm.
Stabila, they had a little booth set up. Milwaukee had a booth set up. Um, funny story about Milwaukee. So we get there about 10 minutes prior. So I went with Steve Iadarola. He came actually pick me up from the airport. If you're listening, Steve, thank you so much. Um, hung out with Steve and Mike and Eric and Jeff Fitzsimmons, all patrons of the podcast,
Wicked
quite a
cool.
bit. But we pulled in and it was like 10 or like 9:50. So, it starts at 10. And they're setting up the Milwaukee booth, like putting stuff on a table, the pop-up stuff. Like 15 minutes after the event starts, the Milwaukee guys show up. So they're like still setting up like 30 minutes into it. And then they left. I was standing inside and they came in. They're like, yeah, we're gonna take off. We're gonna get out of here like 30 minutes prior to when the thing was even over. I was like, there's the difference. Festool booth, Stabila booth, they were both completely set up when we got there.
Yeah.
And they did
Yeah.
not touch it until after the event was over.
Yep.
Wow.
You were there. Michael Bublé was there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's a good dude.
Yeah.
He's new. He's real earnest. I like him a lot.
Yeah. He was at JLC.
Yep, good
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah. Super nice guy.
Yeah.
There was a couple dudes that came up that owned a local shop nearby, and they were looking for an edge banding machine. And I almost wish that I would have told Ryan beforehand that I was going so they could add a demo there. And I just happened to be standing there when the guys came up, and we talked for, I don't know, probably 15, 20 minutes on the Conturo and like the benefits that it would have. And basically what they were doing is they were making these like 1.5 inch thick doors that had like a pre-finished material on the exterior, and then it was like the particle board. So they were solid core, but with the particle board, solid core. And they needed to edge band these doors, and right now they were currently using iron on, and they were doing an amazing job. Like the results, they brought a test piece. I was like, wow, this looks really good. I said, but the amount of time that you'll save by doing this, the kicker is that the edge of the door that they were edge banding, one of them had a 3-degree bevel. So I was like, you need the table. So I said, if you had the table, you'd be able to adjust it and be able to do this. And I said, you can put up to 65 millimeter tall edge banding in this thing. So like you'll be able to do it. You'll save a ton of time. Of course, they didn't have a demo model that was there to like be able to, but they had everything to sell. So I guess they set it up, and on Wednesday, day after tomorrow, the festival rep Michael and Ryan, they're going to go to their shop with their stuff, and they'll probably make the sale then. But they were like blown away because they didn't have really any idea what how well the tool worked.
Yeah.
So that was cool.
Sounds
What's
like
a Contoro?
sounds like a perfect application for it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
It's a I don't have anything for that.
It's
I was like, are they ignoring me?
It's an app to create topographical maps.
Nice.
Yeah. It's
You know,
AI generated.
you just sparked my brain in the background. I've met with a customer today, came in, said I wanted to ask you something, and showed me a hallway that has 3 5-foot openings, 7 feet tall. And she's like, these have been open. I want some type of door. I don't care what, just to open in the center. And my mind's sitting there going, I wouldn't want to do that on solid wood. That's huge pieces. It's a lot of glue. Thinking plywood. And she's like, I'm not really too concerned with it. They look like I just want to be plain. That would be the ideal thing, is just take a really like a good high quality plywood, just contour all the way around the edge, just to make the most simple door, those size doors. Cause they'd be like 2 feet wide, for example, by 7. That'd be a great way to use a conturo just to finish it off. They're going to be
Yeah.
painted. Interesting.
Do you have one?
Speaking of, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I bought one about probably 8 or 9 years ago for a specific project. It's came in handy. I'd say I'd use it about once or twice a year, and that's enough. And it's handy. I could use it more, but part of it's laziness. And it's funny when you don't use it that much, you'll get it out. Sometimes you're like, I need to use this more. I need to use this more. And sometimes you're like, but it comes in handy.
I can't believe it's been that long since that was released. It was just the other day.
Yeah, I just know the project I called you about it on, and that was like 7-8 years ago. So I know long.
It's crazy. Somebody said something at work today. I go, you've been with us a year? I thought you were still on 90 days probation, dude. Time just flies. Like
it does.
I was talking with another guy today, and he goes, yeah, we've known each other, Sedge, for 9 years. I was like, you've been with us 9 years? Maybe it's me, man, but holy moly, has time been flying a lot lately.
It really does. It really does.
Yeah. Oh man, it's awesome.
Hard to believe it's
okay.
already
I got to
June.
tell you, I got to tell you what I did for Father's Day.
Let's hear it.
Okay, you gotta. This is awesome. I go to bed early. Sunday night, Father's Day. Marianne and I were both exhausted. We got so much work done around the house, right? But we had bought tickets, and the Bushes came, picked us up at 7:00, and we went to a place called Butler University. I'd never been. It's downtown Indy, and we went to Klaus Auditorium, and we saw somebody that I've wanted to see forever. Kevin James.
Ooh.
Oh, really?
Oh my God. So the guy who opened for him, his name was Gary Valentine. And I went, God, he looks a lot like Kevin James. Well, Marianne Googles it afterwards. He was funny as heck. Gary Valentine is James's brother, Kevin James's brother. And he was on King of Queens with him. Yeah, we had no idea. Marianne goes, that was his neighbor or whatever. So he came out afterwards. He only had his brother warm up for him, and then Kevin James came out. I forgot how funny he was. Holy crap. Rick was dying. Melinda, oh my God. She was trying not to laugh too hard because she had just had surgery a week and a half ago.
Right.
But oh my God, it was so funny. Marianne, I haven't seen her laugh that much in ages. I was crying. There were parts where I was like, you gotta be kidding me. he's got to stop because my abdomen was killing me. Up my legs started cramping. He was just that funny. Oh God, he was so cool. And you know what? Marianne and I were talking. She goes, "We've never gone to see a comedian, have we?" And I go, "No." And guess what? I don't think I ever went to see somebody live like that. Have you? I know you went to see that guy Neil Bagazi.
No, Nate Bargatze we
Yeah,
went to call
Yeah.
him right after the festival build off, and it was amazing. His dad opened for him. It was
that's
hilarious. Dad
that's
comes out.
crazy.
His dad's like 75, 80, and he was a magician. So he's doing these tricks that are like almost fails while he's telling a story. But you sit there watching, you're like, how is he gonna? And he just throws it down. It's like all the paper that's ripped up just drops it to the floor. He's like, I don't know how to do that anyway. But he's telling
I
a story about him growing up with him,
That's
and
it.
his dad is
That's it.
hilarious. His
That's
dad
it.
is so funny.
I think that is a characteristic of a killer comedian. They are fantastic storytellers.
Yes, it was.
Oh my
He
God.
was like, he was like Nate really wasn't that good in school. He wasn't that great in sports. Didn't really stand out. We weren't really sure where he was going to go in life. He's looking around and it's sold out. He sold out Rep Arena. There were 20,000 people sold out.
That's crazy. Klaus wasn't sold out, but it had a hell of a crowd. And there's not a bad, what a beautiful theater, and not a bad seat in the house. And just he killed it. He killed it. He murdered it for an hour. And this is how I could tell it's really good. I don't want to spoil any jokes. I'm not going to tell any jokes that he said, because if you see him in your neck of the woods, you got to go see him. But what was really funny was we get home, it's about 11:30, and we both got to get up wicked early and as we're going to sleep, I start giggling, and then Marianne giggles, and then I wake up this morning and I was remembering stuff, and oh my God, I was giggling all day. I get out of my car, and Rick is pulling up, and he goes, "Leonard," and I just lose it. And all day we're just walking by remembering stuff. That's a sign of a good comedian, because the next day you're repeating one-liners to someone you saw it with, and yeah, it was well worth it. So if you see him in your neck of the woods, just go. And that was a great Father's Day. The kids reached out, we talked, but that was really neat, just spending time with the Bushes and Marianne and I. It was nice. But way past my bedtime, man.
I was
Ooh.
just gonna say you stayed up late.
Yeah. And you know what? I don't feel. Marianne goes, "You're gonna have a couple beers before going?" I went, "Absolutely not." Because I'll get in that seat and I'll just fall asleep. And I didn't. And it was really fun. Marianne goes, "How much are they charging for beers over there?" And they had 16-ounce cans. You ready? $10.
Oh yeah.
I think it was more than that at Rep Arena.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
not surprised.
Yeah, it was more.
I'm
And the
I'm
line
worried
was
about the
45 minutes long.
concert that I'm taking Nicole to in December. Like I can just
that's
imagine it's gonna be like $15 a pop for a beer.
Yeah. Who you guys are going to see who?
Justin Timberlake, baby.
Oh, yeah. Do you think he's going to perform Dick in a Box?
I hope so.
Yeah, man. God,
Yeah.
that was funny, huh? That's such a good skit. First, you cut a hole in the box.
I think my wife's hoping that he performs Dick not in a box,
Yeah,
just out in the open.
just Dick.
Yeah.
Did I?
Sans box, just Dick, no box.
So
I don't think well, I was going to say before. I don't think I told you what happened. We went to that show. I left straight from the festival build off, and I have my
this
little
last one?
No, the last one, yeah. Went straight, picked up Kelly, changed really. No, I didn't change really fast. I just changed shirt. That's it. And we went because we barely made it in time. They were already in there, and so I hit traffic on the way back. And I had my knife still on the right hand side, and my little thing didn't think about it. Getting the security line, and it was like cow herding, like 60 people wide, all the way out to the street, all the entrances, because it was just sold out show. I get up to the front, and the guys, I put the little knife on there and stuff. He's like, "Yeah, you can't bring that in here. You're gonna throw that away. There's a trash can right over there." And I was like, "Yeah, I'm not throwing this one away. This is the one that Cameron carried until he got his carbon fiber one." he gave this one to me. He kept up with it for like 5 or 6 years. I'm like, I'm not throwing that away. So I went over in the parking lot and I looked and found the tree that looked like it did not belong. And I walked up to the tree and I put it under the mulch, walked away, came back and dug it up after the after the thing, which it was daylight when we got there. So I had to be really careful that nobody saw me do it. But at night it was easy. I just went back over there and got it. I was like, gonna throw that away.
That's so cool.
Yeah, but Kelly didn't know it, and she made it through security line. Turned around, I was gone. He sent me away. She's like, "Where are you?" Texts weren't going through. It was, yeah,
It was
another tip. This is for everybody and for you all too. Electronic tickets, screenshot your ticket. Do not think you're going to bring it up when you go to an event, because a lot of times the cell is overriding and you're trying to bring it up from an email and it's just scrolling. So I made a practice to screenshot my ticket. I did not tell Kelly that little improvement idea, and she had the tickets and she could not get them to come up forever, like to the point we waited for like 5-10 minutes to go in. So that was another delay. So that's a good reminder, because everything's
Yeah.
electronic now, ticket wise.
Yep, it
Every-
is.
everything
Melinda
is.
just had all 4 of our seats, and boom, we were there.
Yeah. So yeah, I just want to tell that
Apple
little-
Wallet, baby.
Yeah. Yeah. Apple Wallet, whatever it is, but don't rely on your email to bring up a ticket.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Because you may not have your email.
What did you do on Father's Day, Ronnie?
I didn't even know it was Father's Day until Saturday night at 9:30. Kelly told me that Father's Day was the next day, and I did not even know. And that partially, I was trying to think how I didn't know. Partially, maybe because my dad's been gone now for 3 years, and I think of Father's Day as my Father's Day. I don't think about it
Yeah.
as really me still.
Yeah.
And Kelly was out of town until Saturday night. I picked her up at the airport at 10:30, and she said, "Tomorrow's Father's Day." I was like, "Really?" Did not know that. Did not know. I thought Father's Day was later. I thought it was like in the 20s. I don't know. I didn't realize that. So we just hung out, went to the pool and hung out, and went to Madison serving at a restaurant. We ate lunch at her. And
Country
then she's
boy.
No, she's still working at another restaurant that she was already working at. She worked
Oh.
there until like 2 o'clock, and then she went to Country Boy at 3 or 4, and we went and saw her again. She was our server
Nice.
at Country Boy as well. So I saw her twice during the day, and we hung out at the pool in between. So it was good. It was just I tried to not do a lot. It's so hard though when you're sitting there trying not to do anything. I can sit there and think of so
Yeah.
many things I want to do. Like
Yes.
I could go get the post hole diggers and I could dig that hole. It's kind of getting hot, but I could do that. Or I could run up and do this. And Kelly's like, "No work. Don't work today." I'm like, okay.
It's impossible.
There's
I
especially
was
when you're
in
on the house. There's so much you can
I-
do.
I was in the shop all afternoon. Well, it started about 10 in the morning, then all afternoon. I spent 6 hours in the shop. It was wonderful.
Yeah,
What'd
that's
you do?
nice.
Well, you know how I borrowed that UJK system for you? I
Mhm.
actually had ordered one and got it, and it just been sitting for a few weeks. And I have something coming up where I don't know if you've ever seen it. You know the STM.
Mhm.
I got some brackets, and I wanted to create an MFT top or a 20 millimeter board top that I could snap on there as an accessory table. So I stepped through the whole process. I watched Peter Parfit's parts 1, 2, and offset holes, and I got the basic gist of it and just sat in the shop and punched it out. And God, daggone it, is that a really well thought through system. So I'll get yours back to you, Jason, and I'm gonna shoot a video in a few weeks on it
Nice.
because it is really, you know how I always used to say this about the MFK when I was showing people the MFK, you open it up, or you open up the domino connectors, or you open up the LR32, right? In front of everybody. You just see their eyes go, ooh, look at that. But when you go through it step by step, it's overwhelming, is what I'm getting at.
Mhm.
Mhm.
But you go through it step by step and you have somebody explain it to you. It's not. You just gotta, practice and use it. And I was looking at this whole system. I was like, what the hell's this? What the hell's this? What the hell's this? And then I went step by step through it. I go, oh my God, this is easy. So and as I go through it, I watched Peter Parfit, who I just so respect. I love that guy. I think he's got great stuff. He invented the whole park system, right? And and then all of a sudden I fumbled with a couple things. I went, oh, that'd be a good tip to maybe forewarn somebody on that wasn't in that video. We always talk about this about remember when I was starting the YouTube and I came up to you, Jason, and I said, I'm thinking about doing a cabinet video. You go, oh, cool. You said, Sedge, go on YouTube and type cabinet. There must be 1,000 videos, but you're going to teach it from your perspective, like I taught it from my perspective, correct?
Mhm.
And that's what I like about it. And I always think it's not that I'm trying to better it. It's just I want to make mistakes so I could teach somebody, hey, this is a little hiccup I had. This is something that you could go in that other direction, and it'll make a difference for you. So that's what I do with my shaper videos. I'm getting ready to shoot a bunch of those too, because I've been using the heck out of that and learning with it. That caliper that they have that links Bluetooth now to the Origin, I didn't know about it, and I was struggling with a couple things, and I went, wait a minute, bam, and then you can do all your calculations right on the screen, divide by 2, and oh my God, it's amazing.
Yeah.
So, and that caliper is awesome. So, long story short, I spent a good 6 hours punching out and learning about that UJK BARF system, about punching 20 millimeter holes on that grid. And I'm like, oh, what else can I do?
So when I was asked if I wanted to try one of those out, I'm like, nope, I'm never going to make my own MFT tops. And Hans actually was like, well, think about this. What if you wanted to make jigs that housed tools and you could line up the holes exactly with the holes on the MFT? And then you could use dogs to position whatever jig it is that you're using. And I'm like, that's actually a really good idea that I would have never thought of. And so that's why I got it. But then, I let you borrow it. Honestly, until you just said that, I completely forgot you even had it.
And so one of the things I just got from TSO, they just came out with those low profile dogs, the real thin ones. And I've been wanting something like that forever, but they bored them on the 32 millimeter system, which is for the MFT, right? I'm doing a whole set of dog holes with the UJK system on my European workbench.
Okay.
So I can use that one new item because I think it is the freaking cat's pajamas.
How low profile are they?
Less than 1/4 inch, so I can hand scrape 1/4 inch dog.
Nice.
I usually use a piece of really thin material, and I get buckling. But I saw the prototype.
Mine are maybe 1/2 inch. The shortest ones I have. I think Sedge just cut out. He's looking at his microphone to check. It looks like his lights are right.
Nope, I'm back.
He's back. That was a
I'm
little.
back.
There you go. I said I think
Yeah.
mine's like mine are like 1/2 inch. I think.
Yeah, the TDS 13s, I think are 1/2 inch. Then they came out with the two new. Yeah,
Those.
yeah. I'm talking about the long profile stops.
Oh yeah, I have those too.
Yeah, do you have the blue ones that? Yep, those are the Veritas ones.
Yeah, have those.
Yeah, I've used those, but these new ones are even thinner.
They get loose. That's the thing that I've
Yeah.
had trouble with. I cannot tighten them up enough, and when I use them, they want to start sliding around on me. That's the
Yeah.
only thing I've had issues with. But I also think it's a really bad idea to keep it in a sustainer like I do because they need to be very close to the bench or you don't use them. You'll find another way.
Absolutely.
You find another way for sure.
Yep, absolutely. I'm all about bench fixtures, dogs, and stuff like that because and it's right there on my bench.
That's good.
Period. Yeah,
Good.
it's kind of neat. So, this episode is brought to you by TSO and UJK.
No, it ain't.
No, it ain't. Hey, it's pretty cool because um I like it when people can do some really innovative things.
Yeah.
And that system's cool. So
Mhm.
yeah. Okay. And I've been talking and talking. Jason, I know what you did yesterday for Father's Day, but why don't you let everybody else know?
I played golf.
Woo!
Yeah, played good too. I shot surprisingly well for as what I would consider to be striking the ball so poorly. I started doing lessons. Um, the guy that I got fitted for my golf clubs was he used to play on the South American PGA Tour, and he's a club fitter for Titleist. And I just asked him one day, I was like, "Hey man, do you give lessons?" And he's like, "I do, but why are you asking?" And I'm like, "Cause I would like to get lessons." He's like, "Are you sure?" And I said, "Yeah." And he's like, "But I mean, what's the problem that you're having?" I was like, "Well, I'm just, I'd like to be hitting the ball a little bit more consistent." But you know what I told him, Sedge? The same thing that we talk about with shop layout stuff all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it just helps to have another set of eyes. And I'm not proud. Like there's always room for improvement, especially when you're talking about golf. Like there's always room for improvement. So I went and did a lesson with him, and within like 5 minutes, he was like, "Yep, we need to be doing this." And I'm like, "Okay, cool." So I've been trying that. I haven't had a lot of time to practice it, and I was struggling some. But overall, the end of the day, I didn't hit the ball super solid, but I ended up scoring pretty well. It was fun.
Mm.
So I'm
How many
playing a lot more.
holes?
18. It was hot.
Yeah,
Woo!
It was
I
very
bet.
hot. But we had a nice little breeze. I'm playing golf Friday with a guy, Brian is his name. I actually met him at the you met him too, Sedge. Brian Strawbridge. We met him at the woodworking show in Indianapolis.
Oh yeah, he had a Cubs hat on.
Yes. Yeah.
Yep.
So I'm meeting
Wicked
him
nice guy.
on Friday to play golf, and then hopefully Sunday I'll be playing again with my. So Leo's best friend at school, his dad plays golf, and Leo's best friend goes with his dad to play golf and really likes it. And so him and Leo, when Leo finally went to the driving range, he went to school and was talking about it. And then they were like talking back and forth, like, "Oh, we need to go golfing with my dad." And so I ran into his father outside of daycare one day, and he was like, "Look, my son will not stop talking about this. Like, we need to take him out to the range." And so we did. And that's how I met this guy named Chris. And now, like, it's great. We try to play golf as much as possible, and
Cool.
it's really good.
It's good.
So I played golf, got some nice cards in the morning from the boys and some drawings. It was really nice. Nicole made me breakfast. And then we grilled out on the old German. Oh, wait, no. German grill Saturday. We did burgers last night for Father's Day. That's what I said I wanted. Drink a bunch of German beer. It's fantastic.
Would be better.
Yeah.
Awesome. Good stuff.
Oh, I wanted to bring something up from our last episode. We did get one of our wonderful patrons, Mr. Michael Shea. Remember, we were talking about taking notes
Mhm.
and lists and all that stuff. I just wanted to read this because I thought it was interesting. He said, "Check out the Trello app for an alternative to notes or handwritten. Been using it for a few years now. I use a lot of notes with photos, and this keeps them all organized. Punch lists and sub lists attached to certain items without jumbling the main list." Trello.
Trello.
Trello. Trello.
Oh,
All right.
I just wrote it down on my list.
I did too.
Yeah, by hand. But I wrote it by hand. Sorry, Michael.
Yeah.
Have you all seen the update on calendar that Apple has for like iPad with not calendar, calculator, where you can write out in your own handwriting any math problem equation and it will answer it for you. Like anything. Like
No.
you can write like $4 something, one of these really complicated like formulas like you would see on a whiteboard, and it will answer. And they said it answers you in your own handwriting, which I was like, why would you want that? And then I thought, well, I guess if you're doing it for homework, it'd be kind of nice.
Yeah.
Well,
have they just instituted, or have they yet instituted that new AI into the new iOS?
I think it's already coming out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's already,
If they say if it goes into the operating system, it's not a
yeah.
good thing.
Yeah. There's a lot of talk about that right now.
Yeah, a lot of talk. Elon even came out and said something.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. There is.
Yeah.
I found the calculator thing interesting because a lot of times you can look at especially the scientific one, the more complicated one, and no one knows how to use that. But you could just write out a formula exactly as what you need to know. That's fairly handy,
yeah.
which it's
Mm.
all out there. It's
But
just
it would do kids no good anymore now with the new way that they do math and how kids are getting zeros because they don't show all their work.
true, true.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like especially during COVID, when Cameron didn't know if he was getting it right or not, he had no way of knowing other than us calling a teacher that we knew that was like an eighth grade math
Oh,
teacher.
yeah.
It
You
would
could
at least
check.
verify it's good for the parents, or it's good to verify, yeah, you're doing it right. Because if not, there's
Mm.
no way to know. But yeah, it's interesting stuff. Changing quickly. I mean, I was gonna say, I look back also, it's like, why does it matter anymore? I mean, it used to be when we were younger, they're like, it's not like you're gonna be able to walk around with a calculator in your pocket when you get older. Well, guess what? That was wrong. And it's only going to become more and more, eventually I think it'll probably be in your sunglasses. And you'll be able to reach out and look at an equation.
Yep. Yep.
So at what point does it matter to waste? I don't think waste. I think there's a certain amount of math that makes sense to understand, your brain power to understand. But really complex things, maybe why do you need to even learn it? I don't know. Just just a thought. But what were you going to say, Jason?
Reading that comment, I kept it in my email just because I didn't want to forget about it. But that actually made me pull up another one that I've been meaning to ask on the podcast because it's actually a pretty good topic for anybody listening to this. James from Dirty Meerkat Workshop sent us a message on Patreon. This was a few weeks back. This was on May 28th. So, James, I apologize. We haven't gotten to this until now, but he says, question for you gents to possibly ponder. Do you all use surge protection in the shop for electrical use? Standard 110 volt is easily done if needed, I think. But do you use anything for 220 volt items? We have been having a lot of storms lately with power outages and surges, and I worry about my SawStop, my Harvey G700, and other 220 volt items, and if I should be able to protect them and how. And I thought that this was a great question because, one, I'm interested to find out if you guys do anything in particular for it, but I would like to share something that I did on the panel that I have in my shop. So they make these whole home surge protectors that you can put in line with the main power running into your house and your breaker box.
Mm-hmm.
And this was brought up to me by Paul, who is another patron of ours, guy that I knew in down in Georgia. He's the one that recommended this to me. So when I did the electrical on my new shop, I had one of these surge protectors installed on the sub panel that we ran off the main panel. And basically what it is that if there was a lightning strike, somewhere around there and it it struck my house or it struck the ground and it, fried the rod or whatever. I don't know how all that stuff works, but essentially this device would take the surge and power and protect everything on the other side of it. Excuse me. And you can get them for your whole house. So what's kind of silly about the setup that I have is that it would only protect the things that are hooked up in the shop on that panel. So essentially all the additional outlets. So it would protect all of my tools. But some of the outlets in my shop are on the main circuit or the main breaker box, which I do not have a whole home thing there. And what's great is that the company that I got, I don't know what it is off the top of my head. I actually think I did a YouTube video on Workshop Electrical in the new shop, and it actually talks about it in that video. I put it on the shop one, and it's kind of like against code how it's actually connected, because you actually have to take off the panel, right? You know, like the gray cover. You actually have to take that off to see the status of that thing. And it has like green indicator lights, and if there's something wrong with it, it'll be red. So the only way I would know if something was wrong with it is by taking it off. And what that really was is, at the time, that was a temporary solution, and I was going to put it on the outside so you could visually see it. But I just never went back and did it. But you can get those for not only, you know, your shop panel, but you can also get them for your whole house. So then it protects everything in your house. And the company that I got, it guarantees, in the event, as long as it's operating properly, and it was installed by a certified electrician, I think, in the event that the house was to get fried, if your electronics, the things that are plugged into that, failed, they will actually reimburse you up to, like, I want to say it's like $100,000+ on damages, because they they guarantee their product, you know, will stop a surge. So that would be something that I would recommend looking into. And I think that that's just smart for anybody, even if you don't have a shop. Like, they're not that expensive to install, and the device itself is not that expensive. Are you familiar with what I'm talking about? Either one of you?
Yeah, but I know you've got line conditioners and surge protectors, and line conditioners are what you put on like sensitive electronics, because it will actually detect a lower voltage, which is more damaging to electronics than a surge. An under voltage can fry a tool quicker than a surge. I've looked into before the whole house ones, like on a 200 amp panel. The ones I looked at, we have two 200 amp panels in our house. You have to have one for each panel, which kind of sucks. For the shop, I have one 200 amp panel. What I have set up is I have a surge on my desktop that runs my CNC, mainly because it would be a pain in the butt to ever have to get that set up again, because they have it configured for the CNC. I would have to probably go back to Atlanta for them to download if I lost it, or they have to send me some INI files and some, it would be a pain. And I have it on my laser cutter. Other than that, I'm running by the seat of my pants.
Yeah. I just have it in my office for my computers. That's it.
Yeah.
I don't have anything for the shop.
Yeah. Not to say that's, you know, not a good, you could do it, but I get, part of me almost looks at it, it's like I'm insured every single way in the whole world. And if something was defraud, I would be covered under my insurance. If
but I totally get that. But you know, insurance companies, man, they will look for every possible freaking reason to not.
Oh yeah,
to not do it.
I've talked to a few people, because I mentioned at a party the other day I was at, a birthday party on the weekend, and the guy goes, "Oh yeah, because of my roof and a couple of things," and oh, the adjuster's not making a call back. I go, "Yeah." He goes, "Oh no, that's standard operating procedure." Then they're gonna wait for a couple more calls. They're still not gonna call back, and then they'll ask you as the homeowner to make the call. He goes, "I do it every single time because I deal with that every single time." It's people, you get the majority of what you need done, but the little things, you're happy with what happened. And a lot of people just go, they don't bother because whatever. I got what I got.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that truly is a shame, because we spend that premium we pay every month, right? And it's built in to ignore people trying to do work on your house.
Right. Yeah, it'd be
And
nice.
You've already been approved for it, but they lowball it in their models to see if that person doing the work will actually make the call in, to see if they could get a few dollars more to actually make it worth doing. Doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, it's a painful thing. I have on my list to look into changing mine. I've been with the same insurance company business wise since I've started. And every year it just keeps going up and up and up. I've never had a business claim.
Yeah.
I don't even want to know how much I've given them in 15 years.
So
It's
I'm gonna tell you, I think it's, we talk about this all the time about trust. Who do you trust? Okay. We had a hailstorm go through here, and I automatically called somebody I knew from a company. I'm gonna call them out. Beard, 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 like a beard roofing. I highly recommend them. It was my friend, and I'll call her out, Tracy. She did a great job explaining everything, handled everything perfectly, exactly delivered, perfect, right? Uh, they're doing next door because Andrea came up to me, and yes, you can trust them. Across the street, Matt had several people. There is now a placard on his front lawn, Beard Roofing. It's word of mouth from somebody who's had a good experience.
Yeah.
Like I pointed out down the street several roofs that are oh my god. It's the ridge vent, I think. Oh my god, they're gonna have so many problems in the future because they didn't extend it enough. They were shortcutting them. And oh my god, it doesn't even go the length of the ridge line. There's a certain thing, it doesn't even make code, and they just had it done. So it's there's a lot of fly by night roofers. That's
Oh, yeah.
unfortunate. But once again, as we always talk on a podcast, who do you trust?
Right.
So I went with somebody I trusted.
Well, I've been
And
trying to trust Fulton Fine Woodworking to do all of my household needs, but he keeps turning me down.
I heard
We keep going on our map and we check our territory and we just try to get you in that circle, but it's like you're falling outside of the circle. you know, um, something else on that surge thing, I was just thinking that is very dependent on who your electrical provider is also. I'm sure there's places that have much dirtier electric and some people have cleaner. There's different technologies delivering your electric, and that would be a good question to ask your electric company what their suggestion is, because not knowing anything right now what I'm talking about, I could see somebody saying, like a line tech, you don't need to do this because we have the protection at the station that's feeding yours, and you don't have to worry about that. For example, compared to somebody else that maybe has an older technology that's not like digital, it's more of an analog.
Mhm.
And they're probably like, yeah, you better, because we see it all the time. So
they
it would
live in a
probably,
country.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
probably important to know who your provider is. What what type of electric you have, I'm sure matters, what the power source is. I could see that being the case.
Yeah. I did look it up while Sedge was talking, and the one that I have, it's a Eaton whole
Yeah, I know that
home
brand. It's a
surge
blue logo.
protection. Yeah.
Yeah. There's, I do think that if you get one, you need to get a reputable one, or it may be a waste of time and money. That's
the Eaton one, if you look online like that, you'll see that one come up as like the top choice on most reviews. Sedge, James, the guy who does, he's the one that installed it.
I was just gonna say, yeah,
he's
a good dude, man. He's a real good electrician.
Yeah, he's actually, I want to say he's out on his own now. He actually wrote me a message not too long ago asking me something else for an army buddy of his.
It was like 2 or 3 months ago. He reached out and says, "Hey, I'm available. I'm out on my own."
Yeah.
Wow, you won't be able to get him for long. That's one of the hardest trades to get someone to your house right now as an electrician. They are so sparse. It's hard.
Well, I'm going to need one when we redo our kitchen, because I think we're going to do an induction cooktop.
Well, plan way ahead on getting that part done of your project, or you'll be waiting.
Yeah.
Unless you pay one of those Mr. Electric premium companies to come, and they'll show up and they'll take care of it for you. But it's going to be like your water heater.
Yeah. Nope. James, I'll pay James extra.
Is the induction needed kind of specific? Is it like
220?
a 220?
Yeah. I mean, 95% of them are
Where's
220.
your box? Is your box in your garage or your basement?
It's in the garage. That's one of the things I want to talk to him about, because I'm like, I wonder if we can branch off of the power for the like dryer because it's not too far.
Probably he would say no, but the is
Just
there
because
are
if you
your
were using the induction and the
yeah,
dryer at the same time, it would be a problem.
is your breaker on the same wall as your household living area, or is it on the outside wall? Is it on the your lumber rack or your
No, no, no. It's on the outside wall.
on the outside wall, like the where your assembly area is, that wall where the door
Yeah,
is,
with the
the
miter saw station. Yeah.
door? Uh, Probably the best way to get it would be to take the wire down to like the side of your door that goes into your kitchen, go into your basement that way, and come
Yeah,
up your kitchen.
that's what I'm assuming would happen. But
Yeah,
I'm hoping that we'll be able to just take it off of something that's already existing because otherwise he's going to have to cut a huge hole into the wall and fish it and all kinds of other
not if
stuff.
he could push it up to the attic over the garage and then bring it down, worst case, through a conduit on your wall where your door is to go into your house. Bring down a conduit to go into the basement. That might be the easiest way to do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, you could definitely do it. You've got probably room on your panel too. I probably
yeah.
you'd want a dedicated one for
We got
sure.
plenty of space. Well, so we have a gas stove, which we hate,
Mhm.
which is funny because everyone's like, why would you get rid of gas? Like, I cannot stand it. Nicole cannot stand it. I cannot stand it. And then she was in a forum the other day and she was talking, not the other day, but like since we've been looking into this, and they were like, it is so not worth it to switch from gas to regular electric. But if you can go from gas to induction, it's 100% worth it. But do not make the switch from gas to electric unless you're going induction. The problem is, though, is that you have to have 220 for the induction cooktop, which, I have wide open access in the crawl space underneath to like run wires up exactly where they need to go. The issue is that like, okay, I need to get the 220 from somewhere. And what would that look like? So that's something that I want to talk to him to figure out if we can do. But the whole reasoning behind it is we can have one clean, cooktop or one clean top, and then move the oven and put it somewhere else, and have it like eye level, basically. One of the taller ones, build a cabinet in place, and have that, or even just put it underneath. But you only need like this much space for an induction cooktop. They're so thin. When I was in Germany, Fabian, the guy that I went and visited, he made his kitchen island. They put an induction cooktop in the top of that, and he pulled the drawer out. And I was like, let me just see underneath this to see how much space I need. And it was like it was as thick as the countertop.
Yeah, that's why they're perfect for RVs.
Which, speaking of that, that's something that I actually wanted to bring up on here. I almost got this for my kitchen island. It's a product called Phoenix, and it's made by the company that does what's the really popular name that you guys would both know. They make like the laminate
Wilson Art?
tops. No, not Wilson Art.
Formica.
Formica.
Formica. Okay.
Formica.
Formica. So they make this product called Phoenix, and I don't know exactly what it is, but it's like a self-healing cooked or a top, right? And I was like, I don't know. You can only get it kind of thin, right? And I was like, that it's very modern looking if you were to do that. I want to say it's 12 millimeters thick, maybe 15 millimeters, I think, on the thicker side. And I was very nervous about it because we got some test pieces. Looks fantastic, like super matte, like really, really cool. But I always thought like there's just no way that like this would get dinged up too easily. His kitchen island and his countertops is this Phoenix product, and it is phenomenal. I mean,
What
he's
about
had it
heat?
for like a couple of years, and I'm like, you use this a lot? He's like, yeah, we use it every day. And I'm like, this looks amazing.
What about heat?
So I had a conversation with him about like, you obviously wouldn't want to put like scalding hot pans directly on it, which I mean, most people don't do that anyways. But he was showing me like if there was some discoloration or you get a scuff, like how easy it was to like clean it and make it look perfect. I mean, it looked flawless. It looked amazing. But the downside is that yes, you would have to do some like crazy like waterfalled, mitered edges if you wanted to give it a thicker look. Which I did talk to the company about. They're like, you can do that. It's like you can put a substrate, put it over a substrate, and then miter the edges. And the seams would be pretty much invisible if you did it right. But I didn't know if either one of you guys had ever had any experience with that product. It's pretty remarkable.
Yeah, I have not. I'd like to learn more about it. I'm pretty sold on quartz and granite. Both are
Yeah.
they're just rock solid. You don't have to worry about them. I mean, they use them for tombstones. They just last. You don't have to do anything and set anything hot on there. They dull knives is probably one of the, if you try to cut on it and you hit the knife, it'll dull it instantly. But
That's where you have people like Sedge.
we've only changed our granite on our island because we were just tired of, we wanted, to change the look of it. But
A couple of my neighbors found out I sharpen lawnmower blades. What is it? It's so easy to do. I guess nobody has an angle grinder.
You're right. It's really easy to do. You just give it to Sedge.
Yeah.
I was at my mom's house and I was doing that concrete and I noticed her lawn guy. I said, you need to tell your guy he needs to sharpen his blades.
Yeah.
I have never seen grass blades frayed in 4 places on each blade. Not a split. There were 4 like slivers coming on each blade of brownness. And her grass is like perfect, but it looked like it was lightly brown because of the tops of the blades.
And that's how you know. I swear to God, I think I want to start a lawn care YouTube channel. I just love doing it.
Yes, I think it would be
it is
easy one to do. There's so many topics.
Oh, and so I was listening to somebody recently on YouTube, and he was talking about sharpening blades. Everybody thinks you do them once a season. He goes, "To hell with that! I sharpen once a month through the season." And I went, "Okay, I got a reason to sharpen again."
Yeah,
and you know what? I've already sharpened twice this year, and the lawn grows better.
I like to have 2 blades, and you're always just changing the one out, and then you have time to change it. I mean, you have time to sharpen it during that month.
Yeah, it takes.
Yeah.
Okay, so total, take it off, bring it into the garage or the shop, go find the grinder, clamp it, sharpen it, take the burr off. I think it takes a total of 15 minutes. Big whoop.
Yeah, just sometimes I would put that off, so it's good to have 2 blades for me. Ooh, I just thought of something. I'm going to spend Jason's money right now. Tell you how it cost him $300 right now.
Okay. Ooh, I'm ready.
Do it.
I bought the mulching kit for the mower that you have too, the 0 turn. And the mulching kit is different blades. It caps up the grass thrower and it makes it where you don't have to think about where the grass is throwing. Like when you go by the patio, you're always making sure you face the other way. $300, and I'm changing it out. Cameron sold it to me on the way to driving to a job. He's like, "Dad, we need to get this. And I was like, sold. We stopped by the place that we bought it and they ordered it for us. And it's like $300 purchase. But I'll tell you how it goes after it comes in. But Cameron said,
what is it for?
It's for the mower. You know how it shoots grass out the side deck on the 0 turn? It's just basically a different kind of blade, and it has some things inside of it that it just cuts the grass over and over and over again before it hits the ground, and you don't have to worry about
it has lift.
Yeah, it doesn't you don't have to worry, and it closes that door on the side, so there's no grass that shoots out the side. You don't have to worry about if you're going by the house, or you don't have to worry about the patio, because it can really put some major grass out.
Yeah.
And also when you wait till a little bit longer, it will clump real easy, I've noticed. So the only disadvantage to this is if you let your grass get kind of tall, it'd want to bog down maybe a little bit more, I'm thinking, but it's going to be worth it. We usually like to keep it, on the shorter end anyway. So for what it is, that's changing out the blades, the side door, and there's a little apparatus inside of it. I'm kind of excited about it though.
Well, it's funny because Sedge just talking about sharpening your blades multiple times or once a month. I bought my 0 turn not last year, but the year before, right before I had to start using it a lot, and I haven't even taken it in for a service yet.
I was going to say one thing is good is you're probably not hitting rocks and things in your yard. That
Mhm.
makes it worse. You're probably all
Yeah.
grass. That helps.
Yeah. And it's always good to walk the property. See, I'm mowing 2 lawns right now as it is. I'm mowing Andrea's and ours. So this year's been, instead of an hour and 15, I'm doing a solid 3 hours of mowing on Saturday. But I always walk both yards to pick up the sticks. Sticks can,
Yes.
it's debris. You just got to look at debris and
Yeah.
just take 10 minutes to walk the properties, and I pick up stuff. I got my little pickup tool back here, and I look like one of those little old men on the beach, and I don't care.
We've learned the
So
hard way.
I told Marianne, do not let my next door neighbor Andrea know I actually enjoy mowing the lawn.
Yeah. That's funny.
It's it. I put in my pods. I get my Rogan going, and the next thing you know, I'm like, wow, 3 hours just went by.
I'll
I
be
love
honest
it.
with you. I am on the verge of selling all of my lawn equipment and using that money to basically pay somebody to cut my grass for the next like 2 or 3 years.
Smart.
Because
Option.
like now it's not that I don't have the time to do it. It's just that that is time that's taking away from other things. And, especially with travel and stuff, like I'm kind of particular. Like I always love to cut my grass on Fridays. So we can enjoy the yard on Saturday and Sunday, like most people probably want. But the amount of time and then my back is just like getting worse and worse and worse. And the cutting the grass and stuff does not help. And I'm like, why am I worried about it? Like I could sell that riding mower and sell the stuff that I have. I'd make tons of room in my shed for other things. And I pay somebody like $75 a week to do it. I mean, that money would cover it for like 2 or 3 years, probably.
You
I
need
could
to
probably come down and do it.
you need to offer it that the first offer to buy that mower from Sedge because it changes your life, Sedge, in mowing. Like we use it at our house and didn't even plan on it. And we have a tiny yard at our house, but Cameron will be going to mow the rentals and it's on trailer and he'll just stop by our house and just mow it in like 6, 7 minutes. It's so fast.
It is
And
very nice. I will
it's
admit,
so
like
fast.
a zero turn mower. And I have the 34-inch deck just because of the size of my opening in my fence. I wouldn't be able to fit anything bigger than that through there. So it works perfectly. But dude, I'm talking like I can do said you've seen how the size of my yard. It's not a huge yard, but my yard plus behind the fence, plus the side of the house, plus the
Mhm.
front of the house, I can get that whole thing done with me riding over everything twice. That's just something that I do for some reason. And there's the balloons. Um, 30 minutes, 35 minutes, done. So that's what makes it silly that I'm talking about selling that stuff and getting rid of it. But again, if I could just not worry about it and like, hey, here's
I think
whoever on
Well, you
Friday.
know,
I think that's it, because you got to look at weather too,
Yeah.
yeah, and travel.
and you could probably pay somebody to lay down grub and then crabgrass. I do crab.
That's another thing
And
that I want.
I do crabgrass in April, and then I had to lay down grub again this year, and I also dethatch certain areas each year. But you know what? That's kind of my zen. I like doing it, and I take pride in it. And there's going to be a day where I will hire somebody to take care of the ad.
I wish
But
that it was my Zen, Sedge. I really do.
I've
you
always liked.
wish I lived right frickin' next to you, and you could
Yeah.
pay me 75, and I would gladly mow it.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? I've said this since I was in my 20s. It's one of the only things I can do and get done to completion. And I can stand back and say I did it. It's one of the only things. Everything else is so complicated, but mowing is so easy. And you feel like you did something. Sometimes that
So,
might be the only thing that you completely get done in a week, you know?
well, yeah. And what's cool is my neighbors always say, like, especially Zach. Zach's moved away. He lives in Westfield now. But he would always say, "Hey, why does your lawn look like it does?" And I go, "Sharp blades." And I truly believe that, because it creates a healthy cut, and it's not frayed. And I would look at his, and he would have that browning on there.
Yeah.
And then I started sharpening his blades, and he went, "Holy crap!"
Yeah, it makes a difference. That makes a difference. I think the biggest thing for me, I'm all about the time thing and that just taking that back and let someone else do it. But the one thing that would stop me is the schedule thing. And like you said, everybody wants their grass cut on Fridays. I've talked to a lawn guy before. He goes, everybody wants their grass cut on Fridays, and they can't do everybody. So you found the right person that did two things. One, came the day you wanted to, but also just knew when he should cut, because it's not the same. You can't get it cut every Thursday because of rain, all those different things. Cameron was excited because someone in our neighborhood was going out of town for 3 weeks. They're on their second week right now. It hasn't rained since they left, and the grass just stopped growing. And
It does.
he's
Yep.
like, I don't need to mow. We go by it every day. We pass it when we leave the neighborhood. He's like, their yard doesn't need it. It looks exactly the same as when they left.
Yeah.
So I think that's the hardest thing is it's the same with pool. It's the same with pool. If I had a guy taking care of
Yes.
you lose the control of when they're going to show up. And
Mhm.
you have people coming over. And I think sometimes you'd be like, man, I wish the grass was mowed. That's
Trust.
the thing that I think you lose,
Trust.
yeah, back to trust. You're right. You almost need someone small enough to specialize in your specific area that they're going to take care of you.
I tell Marianne, she goes, you can hire a plumber. I go, I'd like to, but I go, just be patient with me. So I bought, I had a leak on my outside spigot, and the frost free where it's I watched 2 videos on it. I spent $13 on a box of washers, and I pulled it this weekend, and it worked. I had a leak last winter out of it, and for some reason I walked on that side of the house, and there was an ice flow off of it, and I went, "Oh, shnikey!" It was just a constant drip every 30 seconds. Took it apart this weekend. 20 minutes later, it's fixed. But I always tell Marianne, you got to be patient with me until I get to it. I want to be certain, because and I did something I wasn't going to do, because when I open up something like that, there better be a plumber nearby real quick that I can call.
Right.
And it was Saturday I did it. She goes, "You really going to do it?" I went, "Yeah, no worries." And I did it. It worked. And
Hey, Sedge, if
I
you're
put it on my checklist. Huh?
if you're looking for a plumber, I can
Yeah.
I have great company. Great company. They're very fair pricing.
They'll give you 3
Uh,
options, Sedge.
and they'll-
No,
We'll give you 5 options. There's maybe even
I was,
6.
I think I told you some, I don't know if I told the story about my sump pump. I'm not going to tell you. I used a national chain, and
Yeah, you told us.
I
Yeah.
just don't want to swear tonight,
Well, yeah, I'll tell you
because
something.
I took it real good, no lube, and because I didn't know, and that is when I said, you know what, this is a much bigger place. It was my second or third year here. It's a much bigger place. I need to really get smart on my home. Something I didn't really do that much in Fort Lauderdale, except the interior, and I got smart on everything. Well, I
it's
try
smart.
to.
Well, it's smart for you to replace that yourself, because I've replaced all of them on our house at least twice.
Mhm.
All of them. And I do at least one a year on our rentals, at least one. I have one house, I've done it every year. And it's not, people aren't leaving their water hose connected. It's not that. That's something, it's a surefire way of doing it. If you leave your water hose like on and connected, but we even send out emails, fall to remind people, and I go by and check. But those are not built the way they used to. And everybody uses that Woodford brand. They sell it at Lowe's too. The one at Lowe's is a plastic handle, and the one at like a plumbing supply has a metal handle.
Yep.
Different components based on where you
Yep.
get it. But doesn't, even with the metal component one, still has had them fail. It's just, they're just not built,
Nope.
even though they're frost free. I mean, I've had 14-inch ones that have still frozen
Really.
at 14 inches.
Yeah.
The-
I've had nightmares with plumbing, whether here or Fort Lauderdale, and it's not something I tackle. So I'm going to tell you, it's YouTube. YouTube gives you the confidence
Yeah.
to tackle something,
Yeah. Especially with these people wouldn't want to do solder or anything. You can use shark bite connectors now and just cut the
Yep.
pipe on the other side, and put a shark bite connection on there, screw it on the other side with a Teflon tape, and replace the whole thing. And it's very fast to do it that way, as long as you can get to it from the backside. So it's not bad. It's just one of those processes. Turn the water off, you really don't have to worry about anything happening.
Yep. Yeah, and it's pretty cool. And they're step by step, and I went, okay, I can do that. Went and got the
Yeah.
box of washers, but that was a few weeks ago. I just didn't have the opportunity. And Marianne's patient with me. It's because it's our front hose. It runs on our north side of our house, and that's where all her hanging plants are.
Mhm.
And she's just got the most wicked green thumb. She's done such a good job with this property too.
It's
We get
awesome.
compliments all the time. People walking by, oh, you're the house with the pretty ferns, or that and that, and
It
it's
takes a lot to keep ferns looking good. You have to water them sometimes twice a day. Kelly waters
oh
them
yeah. And
constantly.
boy, we have some out back this year that are just to die for. We
Yeah,
love them.
they're not like them. They just definitely require a lot of watering.
Yep,
Yeah,
for
they would
sure.
die at my house.
But
Yeah, we
on that north side, it's between the houses. I brought ferns up. I love ferns and different varieties, and we have quite a few ferns. Would they love the shade? And I brought some from my buddy's property in North Carolina, and they're just flourishing. We even
that's
have
great.
purple ferns, and I just love that stuff.
Yeah, my dad used to try to bring things back from South Carolina, where he's from in North Carolina, and
Mm,
it would always die. Like azaleas, everything, it's like a different type there than that we have here and everything. There's a few things he's had to survive, but a lot of times it's not good when you bring them from the other
mm.
You know,
regions.
I just had a thought. The conversation that we're having right now is very fitting to the Green Suitors podcast.
Oh, the Green Thumb podcast.
The
That's
Green
it.
Thumb podcast.
We can talk about salads.
We get,
No, we're not. No.
and I'm so stoked because Danny flew in for at 3 o'clock today, and he's here for a little over a week. I'm gonna be gone a lot. Cincinnati this week with you guys, and then next week I'm in Kansas City for 4 days. But
What do
it's
you
cool. He's up here.
you mentioned that you're going to be busy over the next few months. What kind of stuff do you I mean, can you talk about it?
Oh, I got
Some of the events that you're
not
going to?
I got events that so there's some really cool places happening around the country, and I'm gonna do a event that just came. I just got approval for it, but we got to figure out a date in August, and
We've got, and we have talked
just
about,
stuff. I had I have a full schedule, but it's just people are starting to say stuff, and I'm going, okay, let's get
that's
it on
more,
the books because so in July, oh my God, I get in at 2 a.m., not this Friday, but I get in at 2 a.m., possibly 3 a.m. from Kansas City, and I got a Festool Live on Friday because the following week is July 4th. And then I have something up happening at work, and then that Friday I'm doing a Festival Live, and then I'm gone to DC for this is really cool. I don't think he listens, but my brother-in-law is turning 70, and we're going to he loves the Nationals, so the Nationals and the Reds are playing in DC. I'm going to the Smithsonian with Frankie and Gray and Amy first. Then we're going to go to that, surprise him. He has no idea. He thinks he's just going with his daughter and his son-in-law and his grandson. There's 30 of us
oh,
that are going to
wow.
be
Oh,
in the
wow.
seats. Then
Nice.
that's Friday. Then Saturday, we're having a surprise birthday party. And he doesn't know he's trying to come on his vacation here. You know how we bring him in?
Mhm.
So Cliff, his son, is packing extra clothes. Man, he's coming back with Mary Ann and I for 2 weeks.
Oh, that's awesome.
Nice.
So we have Bobby here. And oh God, he's just, Bobby, he's just so laid back and he just likes hanging here. But when he was saying, hey, I want to come in on these days, Marianne's like, because he has no idea.
Right. Can't
And he
ruin
was
it.
like, oh, you don't want me to
Nope.
watch the dogs?
Don't
And
want you
Marianne
here.
goes, he was real apprehensive. She goes, well, you can come the week after. He goes, okay, good. He's just such a timid guy. He's just so down to earth. He's retired, So he's worked his whole life like a dog. He's a good dude. I can't say enough good things about my brother-in-law.
That'll be good.
Nice.
Yeah, and it's I know we get home from work and we go sit out back and hang out. And he helps me with the yard work. He loves that. So it's gonna be a great summer. And then I got a big dinner on Sunday to go to. with Chris and Emily, and we got all kinds of stuff. But I'm stoked Danny's here because that's why I'm leaving around between 9 and 10 because tomorrow morning I already told him 8 o'clock in the gym. He goes, "Yeah, Papa, no worries." And what I'm doing tomorrow in Cincy is I'm going to check out a few. There's two gyms I want to check out. I've been it's like 10, 15, $20 a day, but Ali's coming, and I'm trying to figure out some cool stuff for him to do because I know he wants to go to Rogue. But also, boy, I'd love for him to drive up here and go to Festal. If you're listening, Ali, I'm working it out so we could do some stuff together.
Is he coming for
I'm,
more than just the meetup?
yeah. I think he's flying in for the weekend, but he's staying. I think he leaves like on Wednesday. So I
This
know he's
meetup,
listening right now, so it's pretty cool. It's the first time I think he said his wife's coming to the US. So he's
this
such a
meetup
cool
is going to be so much fun. And I
it,
actually did want to mention something. Um, I got a updated list of the hotel rooms uh probably 2 weeks ago. There was still one room available, but I actually did just get a message from said, Angie, you came down and met her.
yeah, Angie. Yep.
She
Wicked cool.
unfortunately um has to back out. She's not going to be able to come, and she did book a room. So that means that there should be two rooms available. And I know there's going to be a few people that are coming that don't need rooms.
Oh,
Um,
I think there's more than a few.
I know, and that's actually something that I kind of think we need to figure out how to determine that, because we're at the
Get a more
point now where I
concrete
don't.
number.
Well, so 50 I think is a safe number, because just think about it. We got 30 rooms. Let's just say all
Mhm.
30 are taken. Well, three of us, that's us. Let's just say that maybe 10 of them bring an extra person. Now we're at 40. And then let's assume that maybe 10 people local show up. That's 50. I think 50 is a fair number. Decent
Yeah,
enough
I think
for planning.
I think people just want to come down on Saturday too.
Yes. Which is why
I
I think
know
it's good that
somebody
we're
who's doing that.
that's why I think it's good that we're going to check out the room, because, we're only going to have space for so many people. But I think we'll be fine. Again, at the end of the day. But I wanted to mention that because if somebody is still looking to book a room to come to the event, like, we still do have a couple of rooms available. When those rooms are gone, they're gone, right? So,
Mhm.
you can send me a message personally, and I will make sure that you get the information that you need. But something that I would like to ask is, if you're listening to this and you are somebody that doesn't need a room, but you do intend on coming, either send me a message if you're not on Discord. But if you're on Discord, I would ask, because I don't need to know the people that are coming that booked a room, because I can look at the list
And
and figure out who those
and
are.
this is just for patrons, right?
This is just for patrons. Yes, this is only for patrons. Um, which was why I would prefer Discord, because the only way you have access to Discord is if you're a patron. Um, there's a tab in there for Green Suiters Con. Just go in there and be
Con,
like, "Hey, Con, I
con,
am
con,
coming to the
con.
event. Um, it'll just be me, and I did not need a room." So if you booked a room, I don't need you to do it. But if you did not need a room and you intended on coming, go to Discord, put it in there, just so I have a little bit better visibility, or we have a little bit better visibility on that. But still got a couple rooms left, so if you're interested in
Awesome.
booking a room, we still got a little bit of time.
And after tomorrow, we will be completely experts on the event because the only thing we're lacking is seeing some of the things in person. So it's gonna be
Yep.
nice. We're gonna
And
out some details.
guys, while we eat dinner tomorrow with Leo, because he's going to be Leo, um, we can talk about what brands we're going to talk to about getting some cool swag and for
Very,
giveaways
yes.
for the thing. So that'll be something that we do while we're down there enjoying some adult beverages and potentially some good German food.
Yes. It'll be
Yes,
good.
maybe.
It'll
Yeah,
be good. Yeah,
it's going to be great.
we have
Maybe there's some wingies in the area.
there are wingies in the area. There are
They're
something
not going to
for
be that good.
There's something for everyone.
There's Brothers. And there's Hooters.
Hooters is terrible wings, Sedge. Terrible.
Not the ones on the top.
That Hooters is the worst wings I've ever had in my life.
Hey, my
Not
great
the
grandma
worst.
said any wings are better than no wings, right? Right. Sid?
Yes, that's right. Because Sedge like wingies.
I do give them big credit. Their Hooters is right on the water, which is really nice. It overlooks Cincinnati. Looks down.
So today at our marketing meeting, I found out we're going to do some, these, one of these things that we all get together and do some cool stuff. And all of a sudden, Angela was talking about, she looks over at me, she goes, and right across the street is, and I go, say it. And she goes, Ale Emporium. And everybody
Nice.
went, yes.
That's awesome.
Nice.
So it's cool.
I'm sure Nicole would absolutely love it if I took Leo to Hooters.
Oh, I took Cameron when he was that age.
He needs
They
to learn.
They give
Yeah.
color out. They give they take care of kids. They've got set up.
Oh, I bet you they do.
I filled out about
Over
4 or
there.
5 of those coloring books one time.
That was one
Yeah.
of our default places to go. I think I've said this before on the podcast. When we would go to Florida and you're like, there's so many locally type places. We would go there when we had our kids because you know what you're getting. It's almost like a McDonald's, but it's in better locations, especially in Florida. They're usually by the beach. Kelly liked her food too. We would go there and she wasn't.
tell you
spreading
what. We are
that.
at 7 o'clock right now. Let's close this out. And then real quick, we'll just have a very fast conversation about
Yep.
tomorrow before
Yep.
we call it a night. And
Okay.
then we'll come up with a game plan. But
Okay.
everybody, I'm sorry we talked so much about grass cutting, but
Hey now.
it's a big deal in our life
It's
because we are
June.
all, because we're dads.
Part of
That's right.
everybody's June
Green
right now.
suitors. We're
Yes.
green suitors.
Yes,
Sponsored by Lawn Care.
We need to keep our yards green.
that's right. Thank you, everybody, for listening to episode 143
Can't believe it.
of the Green Suitors podcast. And if you guys would like to become a patron and support the channel and have your chance to win great giveaways, go to patreon.com/Green Suitors podcast for your chance to win. But until next time,
Bye-bye.
bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Okay,
Bye.
Sedge, we can't do this every time. Bye-bye.